So you lot are going to get the most benefit from these sessions. Like I said the other week, 90% of success is showing up, and it's all about jumping on these types of calls, listening in from what we've all learned, and just sharing information. Plus, it's good to get together. It just shows that like-minded people are all in this. We're all on the same journey. And if we don't do these calls, then you're kind of just on your own. You kind of feel like a little bit lonely, really. In trading, trading is lonely if you do it alone. That's why I am such a good thing, because everyone's in like a community, and that's why they do these Zoom calls and stuff, which I think is awesome. So shout out to you lot jumping on. I am going to dive straight into this because I don't know what Scott's doing. He said it's showing that he's away at the moment. I am recording this anyway. So like I said, I'm mixing this up for the last, month or so. We've been mixing it up, doing 1 week trading, another week business building, and I do want to go over some mindset stuff as well. So yeah, today is literally just all about mindset. I know that Shane, you're really starting to get into your mindset stuff at the moment, but for the likes of Ryan and anyone watching this recording, if you didn't actually know, from birth right up until we leave secondary school, we have literally been programmed to become workers and literally work for the rest of our lives until we retire. School is pretty much set up for workers, right? So they teach you the basics, English, math, science, construction, or whatever, which, yes, it is good, but it's there on a purpose. So they're programming us, training us to become workers, right? And then when we leave secondary school at 16, we get a choice to either go to work or we go to college, which most people do for another 2 years, right? That's even more programming for an actual subject that we want to do. Like I actually went to college and I did accounts, business studies, and ended up doing accounts for many years. So when we go to college, we actually kind of choose what career we want to go for. And then even furthermore to that, we can go to university, which a lot of people do. And that's even more programming, like up to 4 years, I believe that is. To me, it's another con or a scam, because you always have to pay off that uni debt. Then you're definitely locked into your contract as a career, and that's pretty much your life. You've gone to uni, and you're pretty much working a job or whatever for the rest of your life. So shout out to you guys that have seen the light, have wanted to do something completely different against the masses. But that's kind of like, that's my perspective on it anyway. You can believe it or not, but I think it's true. But mindset is very, very important. When you get into reading books and listening to these really good audios that are out there that I've actually put on this site, it kind of like awakens your soul within, like Tony Robbins says. Okay. And what that means is it basically, like we were designed to do what we want to do. There's something inside us that wants to always grow. And when you actually start learning these books and audios and stuff, you realize that you can literally do anything you want to do on this planet, right? And mindset is so important for success. Like I know we're all into trading, and they do say that success is 90% mindset and 10% action, and it's the same with winning trading. It's all to do with mindset. So you've got to think, if these top business guys, like look at Donald Trump, for example, I don't know if you know, but he actually lost all of his wealth. I think he became bankrupt. So he was a multi-millionaire or billionaire, whatever it was. He actually lost all of his money, right? And he managed to get all of his money back predominantly because of the mindset that he had. His mindset was already set up for success. And because of that, he was able to just get straight back to work and just literally work his arse off, and he managed to get all his money back. And that's the thing. Once you have that mindset for success, you will always have success in your life, not just in trading, but in all other areas as well, business, relationships, just anything you do, because you've just trained your mind so well to get that. Now, I just wanted to share this picture that I see from the other weekend. I was just briefly talking with Shane about this. Conor McGregor has a mindset coach in Tony Robbins. Now, if you don't know who Tony Robbins is, he's like one of the biggest mindset success guru coaches out there that there ever is. I've got all of his books. He was one of the first people who actually bought his books to get into personal development. There's a very good Netflix documentary on Netflix, called I'm Not Your Guru, I believe it is. So a little insight into his work. He does like seminars all around the world, and he changes people's lives because he literally just changes your mindset, right? And Conor McGregor, it's not funny or coincidence that he actually hired Tony Robbins as a mindset coach to help him get the victory. And as you can see from this photo, it definitely works. So mindset is very, very important. And I've been banging on this I've been banging on this for a while, and I actually didn't really know how important it was. I just, what did it for me was I watched The Apprentice with Lord Sugar. And on that Apprentice, this is like 2.5 years ago or 3 years ago, whatever it was. And on that program, at the end, the guy that won it, Joseph Valentine, I think it was, he actually got interviewed, and he said that he had read Lord Sugar's autobiography, right? And then he was getting all the questions right, and he seemed quite smart. He actually went on to win that series. And I just said to my mum and dad, that book you can get for my Christmas present. So they did. They bought their autobiography, and then on the train ride to London, my old job, instead of me listening to music, I started to read that book. And that book, literally, just something inside me, just it caused a spark. And I was like, wow, if Lord Sugar he come from nothing, right, on the council estate, poor, and he just made all his money from his wealth. And I thought, you know what, if he can do it, then I can go ahead and do something like that. And that book literally changed it for me. And I went on to buy, I think it was The Millionaire Next Door after that. And then at the end of that book, The Millionaire Next Door, at the end, it had a list of all these other books that he was recommended to go read. And one of them was Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So I went out and I bought Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and I read that. And then, my mind just started to expand and expand and expand. And then before you know it, I'm just getting into this massive journey of personal development and buying books and listening to audios, and I just went crazy with it. I've become obsessed with it, really. And then that's why I wanted to kind of get into trading, because I wanted to find an escape from my job. Then I decided I want to get into trading. I struggled massively. I know you know my story already, and that's how I found Leon, and the rest is history. So from when I started personal development two years ago, wherever it was, I've collected all these audios and books and stuff, and that's why I've put that in this channel for you lot to easily download and start listening to. And it will shape your mindset up for success, right? You listen to that stuff, you will honestly, it'll just make life so much easier as well. It'll make trading so much easier as well. It'll make you want to learn things so much easier. Like Bob Proctor said as well, we should fall in love with learning. We're at school and most kids hate to learn. We want to get out of there. But if you switch it and you have the right mindset, like, right, actually, I'm in school. This is good. I really want to learn. I want to learn. And then you come out of school and you're right, I want to learn more. Honestly, that is such a game changer to do something like that, because most people they finish school and they don't even want to learn anymore. They don't even read books and stuff like that. So we are literally in the top 4% of the world that actually are reading books and listening to audios. Because don't forget, a lot of people around the world can't even read and write. We're very, very blessed and lucky in this country that we can actually do something like that. So that's very important to get your mindset right, because it will shape you up for for success. Now, I know Scott's not on this call. It's a shame, really, because I was going to shout him out, but I'm going to shout him out anyway. Scott was someone, well, he's someone that he had some books, right? I think the one of them was called, I know there was the billionaire, the stockbroker. I can't remember his name now. There was another book he lent me, but Scott basically didn't finish those books. He got halfway through and he didn't finish it. That's not a problem, because we need to create new habits, right? When we don't have these habits formed of, I need to read a book, I need to finish a book, and I need to carry on learning, then because that habit hasn't been formed, you're not really going to finish the book. But when you do finish the book and you're like, right, this is great, I've finished the book now, I've got a new habit formed, I want to learn, I want to learn more, I want to read another book. Scott finally passed that hurdle and he finished his book the other week. Actually, he bought The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. I don't know if you've read that book. That's a very, very good book, especially for traders. It got recommended to me by a top trader. It was The Compound Effect and The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. Anyway, Scott bought that book and he read the whole book, and from that he really enjoyed it, and he wants to read more books now. He wants to learn more, which is great. And I was with him the other week working, and Scott loves his newspapers. He buys the Sun newspaper and the Daily Mail, and he was going on about the royal family fiasco, whatever. And I just said, I don't really want to get involved with it and all this stuff. And I just said to him, Scott, why don't you just read a book at lunchtime instead of reading these newspapers? Because most of the time, newspapers is all negative things. Yeah, they want to sell you negative stories, people dying, people getting murdered, people getting robbed, an animal's being killed, it's been thrown over a bridge. The Iran war that's potentially was going to kick off, like all this negative stuff. And what does that do? It's not good for your mindset at all, because it's negative programming, it's negative thinking that you're putting into your mind. You have to be careful what you put into your mind if you want the right mindset. So anyway, Scott, I just said to him, why don't you switch it and just start reading the books that I give you, and go from that. And I said, think of the money that you save. And he worked it out. He was spending, I think it was £1.50 a day on these two newspapers. And he actually worked out through the Compound Effect book that he actually bought, that works out of £500 a year that he was spending on newspapers. Yeah, that's crazy when you think about it. £500, and from that, he instantly literally the click of a finger said, right, I'm not buying any more newspapers anymore. I'm going to read books every single lunchtime. How crazy is that? So now he reads books on his lunchtime, 30 minutes. He's saving a load of money. He's getting his mindset right, which is going to be good for his success and success at trading. And it's just great to see, because we're all on this personal development journey together. And I keep banging on about we need to do mindset. Even the Trade House educators, I don't know if you've seen it, I haven't told you just yet, but they did an official Trade House launch last week. I've got the file, it's actually in the resources tab, and in it they are heavy on personal development, because they know that anyone that's brand new that comes into trading, if they don't do personal development, they're not going to make it in trading. They're never going to make it. And in their little course, I think it's a 3-month thing, and they've got like week by week, it says, right, on this day, on this week, now listen to Your Wish is Your Command on there, because Christian Vargas actually told me about Your Wish is Your Command. So that is on there. You've got the Devil one by I can't even remember. I can't even think at the moment. But there's audios on there that they're telling you to listen to, and it's all for a good reason. Okay, it's all for a good reason. And doing that means that you're shaping your mindset up for success. Okay, so I know I keep on banging on about it, but it is very, very important. And that's why I wanted to bring it back to this Tony Robbins and Conor McGregor. You know, he knows how important having the right mindset is for success. And that's why he's paid a lot of money for this mindset guru. Okay, so shout out to everyone that is listening to those audios. I did actually post another good one. I think it was yesterday. It's not an MP3 download. It's actually just a YouTube link, and it's about patience. We live in a society now where you go on Instagram, you go on Facebook, you see a celebrity or you see some business guru, and they've already made it. Yeah, they've already got the money. They've always got the flash cars, the girls, or whatever, and everyone thinks they're an overnight success. But if you actually go and ask that person, how long did it take you to get to that stage? They'll probably say it took like 2 or 3 years, maybe longer. But people see pictures and images and videos and think, right, okay, I'm going to dive into this. I want to do this business thing or this trading thing or whatever. And then they realize the work that they actually got to do, and the months and the years and the sacrificing and all that stuff. And they just give up. They give up after a few months. And it's a shame, really, because then they go back to their job and they pretty much going to work a job until they're 60, 65 or whatever. So mindset is very, very important. But just going back to that audio, he said that when he was a little kid, this guy, I think his name's Trent, some guy from New York, I believe it is. When he was a little kid, he would go into the garden and he'll plant a seed to just, grow a tree or a plant or whatever it was. I can't even remember now. And literally 2 hours later, he'll go to his granddad and say, "Where's the tree or where's the plant?" And the granddad goes, "Patience. You need to have patience, son." And then say 6 hours goes past and he goes, "Where's the tree? Where's the plant? There's nothing happened." He said, "You have to have patience." The next day goes past. Literally nothing has happened whatsoever. And again, the kid says, "What's going on? We planted this seed yesterday. There's still nothing at all come through." And he said, you need to have patience. You need to have patience. You have to keep watering the plant. You have to keep looking after the plant. And then over time, it will grow. And as you know, that's what happens. 3 months, 6 months to a year, then you start seeing the plant or the tree. And that's literally exactly the same with trading or business or even a job you go into. When you first go into a job, I can remember when I went into my first job in London, I didn't get it for like 2 or 3 months. I needed training for that long to actually get what was going on. Right. And then after a while, it started to click and I started to understand what was going on and it started to make sense. And then you run with it. You're just doing it at that unconscious competence stage that Kevin Trudeau talks about. It's repetition. But if you don't know all about this stuff through doing personal development, actually how the mind works, how success works, and all this good stuff, then you just don't know. You're just playing life by chance. You're just going by, just thinking, oh, if I just keep doing this, something might happen. But when you actually study the mind, study success, and all these other great people and how they actually attain their wealth and all that good stuff, they knew how to get it. And the only reason why they knew how to get it was because they did personal development. They read the books, they listened to the audios. So it is very important. And just one last thing I'll just say as well, like I know a few of you are coming to this London I Am convention. Like there's going to be a lot of people with a lot of money, with massive mindsets that have read loads of books, that have been to many seminars, listened to loads of audios, they've networked with, because it's not just reading books and it's not just listening to audios. I was doing that, right? And although my mindset was getting better, I didn't have people skills. So although I was listening to these audios and reading these books, like I said, when it come to reaching out to people higher above me, like connecting with Leon, Zach McDonald, this Christian Vargas and all these other people, I was uncomfortable because their mindsets were massive, right? They've literally dived into all this personal development, and there's me. Yes, I was into personal development, but what I was lacking was people skills. So when I actually started reaching out to these people, my mindset just got even stronger because I was starting to acquire people skills, which is also another very important thing. And that's why I think it's great that we do these Zoom calls as well, because it's not only where we can share information and do these mindset calls like we're doing now, it's actual people interaction which we're doing. And I know you three we do the Forex and Chills around Scott's, and that is really, really good because it's people interaction. You're actually talking with one another like human being to human being, which is great. And if you don't do that kind of thing, when you actually come to speak to someone at a seminar like we're going to in London, some of us, you will be very uncomfortable because let's just pretend that you didn't read books, you didn't do any of the personal development audios, and you didn't turn up to these Zoom calls, and you didn't reach out to all these successful people and stuff. Like, you will be so uncomfortable, you wouldn't know what to say to them. You wouldn't know where to start, what to say, what to do, where to look, all that. You wouldn't know how to do any of that stuff. So by coming onto this and doing what you're doing, it is shaping you up for success. It is shaping your mindset up for success. And like I said the other week, 90% of success is actually just showing up. So the more you show up, it will eventually just click for you. Like, I can't tell you how many times I failed in trading, and do you know what? It's starting to actually pay off. So I'm gonna end that mindset call just there, and I'm just gonna jump straight into some charts quickly because I know we've been going on for 25 minutes. Now, I said I do want to keep this short. I don't want to just keep rambling on and on and on. But one thing I really failed at in trading was where to get in, right? I didn't know where to get in. And also, if you don't know where to get in, your stop loss is going to be a big stop loss. Most traders typically use 30 pip stop losses, 40 pip stop losses, sometimes a little bit bigger, because they don't know where this reversal is going to take place. When you know where the reversal is going to take place, you can use tighter stop losses, which means you make more dollar per pip, more pounds per pip, because we're here UK, and it means you make more money. And it's literally very, very, it's not even, there's not much stress involved, put it that way. The stress I have at the moment is where to put your take profit. And that's a good thing to have. But I actually called this one out today, GBP AUD. I don't know if anyone took it. I did actually put it in the Discord chat. So let me and I got the take profit target actually spot on because it actually hit that in reverse. So here we got our last down candle before our up move. So all we simply do is we draw the horizontal ray on the body of the candle where the most volume was. And what happened at exactly 7 a.m., the market was dropping down. I think I called a buy around here, and the market just shot up for a nice 100 pips. I actually had to take profit there, so I got it spot on. But what I'm struggling at the moment is actually where to put my take profit. So I'm getting greedy. When you're in these kind of trades and you're doing it with real money, you just want to hold it forever. You want to become a millionaire, right? Huh?
I took your trade.
Oh, nice. Did it hit take profit?
It's still in. It's still going.
It's probably because of the spreads, but that was actually the take profit number there.
1869. Was it 189633?
I got 89633. The take profit 89633. Yeah, that was the TP1 89633.
No, I haven't got.
All right, because it should hit take profit. But honestly, guys, this is a gold mine. Like, I don't know if you realize how good this trade house actually is. Like, to catch trades like this with a super tight stop loss, you can just do this to six figures. I'm not even joking you. So super excited for that. There was another thing I was going to say on this Forex thing. I can't even remember what it was. Oh, I did learn. I mean, you learn something new every day. NZD USD. I don't think I put that in the. It was NZD CAD I put in. I took NZD USD and I actually took NZD CAD. So these two were NZD USD was in Jenna's trade house group thing, and NZD CAD was one of the guys on Leon's. But what I've noticed, and I know this is going to look like mumbo jumbo to most of you, but this last down candle here before the up move, typically we want to put the horizontal ray on the body, and we want to measure the 50% of that, because that is normally our reversal zones, right? So I did that, and then the stop loss, typically we put it on the body here, okay? But what I've noticed recently is sometimes the market can actually push down a little bit more and then start reversing. So the Fibonacci tool is a measurement tool that we use, and I learned this actually best from John Dollery in the Old Steady thing. And sorry, I don't know where my thingy's gone. And he said that you've got to think of it like a discount zone. So if the market's coming down, they want to get it for as the cheapest price as possible before they buy. So you buy low, sell high, is it? I think it is. So in this scenario, we would have got stopped out if you had the stop loss on the body. But if you draw the Fibonacci tool, you can see that it actually reacted off the 88.6, literally to the pip, and then it started to reverse. So they've wanted to get their discount at the cheapest price possible before going in. So moving forward, my stop losses are going to be not on the body. They're going to be adjacent, not adjacent. They're going to be in confluence with this Fibonacci tool, because if you look at that now, I'm actually in profit now with this NZD USD. It's actually up 20 pips now. But I could have got stopped out if I had the stop loss on the body. But now I'm using the Fibonacci tool, which is great because we're going to make more money by keeping in the trades, if just in case it reverses at this 88.6. So, you know, I wouldn't have known that if I didn't turn up to John Dollery's training and steady training and all that good stuff, because I just kept on showing up. Right. So there's a lot of good things. Just have to keep plugging in, guys. Once you do know this style of trading through doing the course and taking the signals, like, and you're starting to make money and accounts growing, honestly, it'll be a lot easier to bring in people when you actually start getting these kind of results and you're showing people, you know, look, I'm making money in Forex. I actually know how to trade. We've got a really good strategy, blah, 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 blah. People want that. And people are going to get results fast because this is duplicatable. It's easy to, I know it's hard. It is hard at the start, but it does get a lot easier. Like I said, it's the same as driving a car. It's really hard at the start for 3 months or longer. And then it gets really easy and you're not even doing about thinking about it. Now I look at the chart and I mark it up without thinking about it. But that only came because I just kept on showing up and just kept on studying and stuff. There's one thing I just...
John Dollery is good.
He taught me the Fibonacci tool about the discount rates. That really just clicked for me. And the thing I learned from him as well was the time zones to trade. The London 7 till 10, I believe it is, and something like 12 p.m. till 3 or 4 p.m. That's the most value I got from his sessions, and most of it I knew anyway from the trade house stuff. So yeah, but there was one thing before we move on, I got this book here. It's called The Feeling Good Handbook by David D. Burns. I told Scott about this one. It is freaking massive. Look at the size of that. um, Going back to that mindset, what I was saying at the start of the call, this is all about how to overcome depression, anxiety, fear of public speaking, how to communicate better with people, the fear of death, I believe, is in there. And pretty much all inside this book is something called cognitive therapy. And what cognitive therapy does is it changes the way you think. And if you change the way you think, you change the way you feel. And if you change the way you feel, that means you've improved your mindset, right? Throughout this book, there's exercises on every single page, and you have to fill it out with a pencil. He asks you some questions. What would you do in this scenario? And then you have to fill out what you would do. And then he actually explains the reasons behind all these different things in psychotherapy, I think it's called. All this. Basically, this book costs £3.50, right? And this is just like going to see a therapist or a mindset coach or any of that stuff. And for £3.50, although it took me 2 months to read, this is powerful stuff. And again, this is all mindset stuff, because now my mindset is like, before I used to think of different things, like, I don't know, for example, if I thought Scott was called me a name or said something to me, right, but Scott didn't say anything, that is something called it's mindset, what's it called now? Mindset reading. I'm like trying to read his mind as one of the examples, but I can't read his mind. I don't know what Scott is thinking about me. So if I think Scott thinks I'm a jerk or whatever, right? I think that, but Scott doesn't think that at all. Yeah. That's called like fortune telling. That's the word I'm trying to get. Fortune telling. So I'm thinking that Scott, but you don't actually know what other people are thinking. But when you know it's called fortune telling, you're thinking that someone's calling you something, but they're actually not. And you have that locked in your brain. You don't ever think what other people think of you, if that makes sense. So it's called cognitive therapy. It's a very, very good book. Highly recommend getting it.
Paranoia.
Paranoia. Yeah. Honestly, it changes the way you think. It stops you thinking all these crazy stuff. And then because you stop thinking of all this crazy stuff, you start feeling better. And if you start feeling better, you've shaped your mindset for just getting to that bulletproof stage, which you want to get. You want to get to that rhino skin. What anyone says about you doesn't affect you in any way, and set up for success. So has anyone got any questions at all? We've got like 5 minutes left before we wrap this up.
How much of that book have you read?
I'm literally on the last chapter now. I've got like I'm on page 533, and it goes up to 700. So not that much to go.
Where did you get it?
I just got it off eBay. £3.50 it cost, but he's got 3 of them. His first one didn't have any exercises at all in it. The second one, which I've got, he's got all the exercises, which is great because you're actually writing down and you're learning stuff. You write better when you learn, writing things down. And then he's got an updated third one. But I think it's great, like £3.50, and it can pretty much really help your mindset and all that stuff. It's worth it. What's that?
Curious.
I can't hear. I got to turn this thing up at some point.
Curious.
Cure, yeah. Cure.
Did you start reading it and you were really anxious, depressed, and you couldn't talk to anyone? And when you finished, you were really happy and you could talk to everybody.
Nah, it wasn't that. It was to do with the panic attack. So I said to you, that's the main reason why I got it. And it's actually like I've got a lot more value from that book that I thought I wouldn't get. But now I recommend that to anyone really. So if there's anyone going through depression, anxiety, panic attacks, fear of death, even public speaking, communication. It's literally all in there, but it is a long book. I have to say that. Scott, I have to say in the call, I did actually give you a shout out earlier for starting to read those books at lunchtime and ditching the newspapers. So yeah, good for you, man. Good for you. It's going to really help with your mindset. So
slowly, but catchy monkey.
Yeah, you're forming a new habit.
Are the others there?
They are. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here. Well done, Scott.
Great.
It's good.
Yeah,
it's good.
We're all proud of you.
I'm reading then anyway, so I might as well read the book, mightn't I?
Yeah, absolutely. But definitely just keep getting involved with these books and these audios and stuff. There was the new one I put in was that called Trent Shelton. I don't know if anyone's heard of him. He's quite good.
And when I finish your book, the network marketing, then swap it for the. Well, you could bring that Slight Edge anyway, and I'll swap it for the. What was it, the one I've got?
Compound Effect.
Compound Effect, that's it.
Yeah, definitely.
I think we should hand them around, some of the classic books.
Yeah.
I've also got Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yeah, I need to reread that at some point. No, definitely. If you want a book, Ryan or Shane, if you want a book, I can definitely bring them to you. If you want one.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I listened to what's it? What's the book called? It's on the business one. It's called Expand Your Mind. I listened to that today for like the first time. I like that one.
Holton Bugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a beast. Yeah.
Reading, you take it in more, or listening to an audio?
For me, it's reading.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. There's something that happens. I don't know what it is, but reading definitely. Like with the audios, I have to listen to them like over and over and over and over again. But with the book, I get like really engrossed into it, and it just seems to take more in.
Thinks in more.
Yeah. I think because the audios, like I have too many distractions. Like I'm at the gym or I'm driving or I'm doing other things. But when you're actually reading a book, you're alone, in your room or whatever. And I think that's another thing. So if you listen to an audio when being alone, maybe that would help a lot more. But I don't do that. So. Okay. All right, guys. But I appreciate you jumping on. I don't know what happened to the others. We are going to get it busier. Like I said, at some stage
I'll tell you what the biggest thing in all of this: consistency.
Yeah, absolutely.
Keep doing the same things over and over and over, no matter how boring or how repetitive. Just keep doing it, and eventually.
Exactly. Like trading like it wasn't boring, but it is confusing and it is hard, and I got frustrated, and I just knew that I didn't want to give up because it can make me wealthy, and it you just keep doing it, and then before you know it starts to just click, and this strategy is lit. It's fucking good. It's fucking good. So it's worth just going through shit until it clicks. And like I said, you've got us, Ryan, as well, to really help each other to get there. But I'm going to end this call now because we literally got a minute. So I appreciate you jumping on. It is going to get very busy soon. I don't know if I said, but my friend Charisse is going to be joining soon. And she's going to blow this